So today we are obviously back at the setup. We are back at home and we are going to be watching this game. So if you guys are here between like noon and 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be live. I'm getting this video out beforehand as a bit of a preview for the massive, and I mean massive, Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game today. Before we get on, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Right now we are less than 400 away. If we could hit that in the next couple of days, that would be absolutely insane. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So, the Chicago Sky have been a decent WNBA team. I'm not going to say they've been exceptional, like, that some people are and how some people are overreacting, being like, oh, they're going to win a bunch of things. No, they're a team that doesn't have an exceptional amount of talent, but they're a gritty team. They work their ass off. Every player on that team works unbelievably hard. You've got Mabry, who can get, like, nuclear hot. Carter's a good player. Diamond DeShields is a good player. Angel Reese is just one of the best players at her role. She is a hustle player, but a damn good one at that. Nothing wrong with being a hustle player if you're one of the best players at doing that. And they are they've been playing really well. And then you got the Fever, who have more talent. I'm gonna say this now. If we're looking at purely talent perspective, the Fever have more talent than the Sky. I don't think anyone's gonna really argue that. If you want to look player for player and just ability wise, like Aaliyah Boston should have more ability than Angel Reese. Angel Reese just wants it more. Angel Reese, I think, is going to destroy. And I mean destroy Aaliyah Boston. Because she just wants it more. Again, Elizabeth Williams versus Alyssa Smith. And Alyssa Smith's the better player. But again, Elizabeth Williams is doing well. Mabry versus... You know what? Mabry was a decent player. And she's just been brilliant this year. To be fair, Diamond DeShields much better in her matchup. And then, like... Someone like a Carter versus Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark's got more ability. Carter's just more direct. So, you've got a lot of talent. You've got talent versus grit right here. And then you've got talent on a team that just doesn't work particularly... Not that they don't work hard, because they do get out and run and stuff. And that doesn't... It's not that they're not trying. They don't naturally have that, like, extra bit of grit that some players have. And that's fine. Like, there are some superstars that don't have that. But everyone on the Chicago Sky seems to have it. But there's one player that's coming back for Chicago today that is going to be such a big player. It's Kamilla Cardoso. Like, I don't see how the Indiana Fever can deal with her. The Indiana Fever actually did a pretty good job with Uru. But, like, Cardoso's a different... She's a different animal. I'm just saying, she is a completely different animal. It is funny that her Wikipedia picture isn't even of her. It's of somebody else. But, like, obviously she played for South Carolina for 3 years. She didn't start at all until her final year. Only averaged 9.8 points a game, but was the reason they won the championship. Like, Hannah Stuckey could not guard her. At the same time, Aaliyah Boston was a starter. Aaliyah Boston started and Cardoso came off the bench for those South Carolina teams. So maybe... if she comes on the court, Aaliyah Boston kind of knows what way she plays. Aaliyah Boston knows how she's going to guard her. Maybe that would be advantage Fever, but then they can just put Angel Reese on Aaliyah Boston, and the current shape Aaliyah Boston's in versus the current shape Angel Reese is in, Aaliyah Boston will destroy her. Either way, it is going to be an interesting matchup there. But Cardoso just has that ability to absolutely destroy the Fever, and it just gives them an elite backup big. Like, I don't see Cardoso come straight into the starting lineup. Because, like, what is either one of Angel Reese or Elizabeth Williams, they've both earned their starting spots. So, I just don't see a situation where she comes in and starts. But she might end up breaking into that starting lineup. And it's funny, I actually think the Sky are going to be better with Cardoso, but Angel Reese's stats are going to go down. I don't think Angel Reese becomes the main focal point for their inside game. I think she just becomes, like, the Joakim Noah, the Draymond Green, the hustle player. So I do think it's going to be interesting to see as the season goes on how what Cardoso's impact is. But if they have a chance of being a winning team, like, they genuinely do have a chance of having a winning record. Like, other than that win against the Liberty, if you've been watching the Sky play, they've beaten the teams that they probably should beat. They've lost the teams they should have lost to, and they're 1-1 against the Dallas Wings. So, and they're a similar enough level team. It's just, they had that one big win against the Liberty, but, like, they've lost pretty badly to the Storm. They lost to the Sun, but then they like beat the Sparks. So like it is a team who seems to have beaten everyone they should beat, and a lot of the time lost to the teams they should have lost to. So I can see them being a 500 team. I can see Dallas or Indiana winning 6 or less games. 6-34. That's not the craziest thing. I don't know what they had won previously. I think they were. I'm pretty sure they won 6 games the year they got Leah Boss. I only won 13 last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think they won 6 games. Yeah, to be fair, they were in 2020. No, they were 5-31. They were 5-31. The year with Nalissa Smith's rookie year, and then they went 13-27, and they're going to be somewhere in between that probably. If they go, I'm guessing they probably go 7-33. That's my prediction. And my prediction for the Chicago Sky is they probably go like somewhere between 18-22 and 22-18, in and around 500. So it's going to be an interesting game, and for Cardoso herself playing this game, it's gonna be a big one. It is a big one, and like you might be saying, it's tough to step in for your first game being the biggest game of the year, but it's like she played the most viewed women's basketball game of all time, and not only that, Cardoso was the best player. Was Clark the best? Was one of the 2 best players in that game. She was exceptional, and they just could not deal with her. Like as great as Hannah Stuckey is running, Hannah Stuckey gave up 5 inches to Cardoso, and just Cardoso got everything around the basket. So it was a case where she just dominated, and I can see her dominating against Caitlin Clark's team again. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, Caitlin Clark's coming against the 2 people that stopped them getting championships. That isn't stopped her getting championships. I mean, that is true, but like Caitlin Clark is also the reason Cardoso didn't win 3 championships in a row and without losing a game. Caitlin Clark scored like, what was it, a 40-point triple-double against South Carolina. And then also the reason why Angel Reese didn't have the opportunity to go back-to-back was because of Caitlin Clark. So there is the rivalry there. Like they stopped Caitlin Clark winning championships, sure. Caitlin Clark stopped them winning championships in other years. But it is going to be an interesting game. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Cardoso has much of an impact today? I don't. I think she's a really good player. I think she's going to have a good season. I think that today is probably a little bit early. I don't think she has much of an impact. I think this is a game where both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese go off. I actually don't think the Chicago Sky are that equipped to guard Caitlin Clark, because of if they don't blitz, if they do end up blitzing super hard with Angel Reese on Clark, especially if Caitlin Clark's going downhill to her right, Angel Reese isn't a good enough shot blocker to stop that. So I can see them maybe going out with a bit of a different defensive tactic, because I don't think Elizabeth Williams is going to be as quick on the blitz as well. And I think pulling Angel Reese off of Aaliyah Boston is going to make it, or Nalissa Smith, whichever one is going to pop to that or roll to that free throw line, is going to make things hard. So I can see the Chicago Sky maybe not blitzing Caitlin Clark like other teams have. And with that, Caitlin Clark coming out with a 26-point, 8-assist game. But I also do think when it comes to Angel Reese, she's going to have like 15 and 13 with like 8 offensive boards. I think she's going to have her best game. I think Clark's going to have one of her best games as a pro, but I think the Chicago Sky just have way too much. And as soon as one of the fact is that like when Aaliyah Boston or Nalissa Smith get in foul trouble, they have to bring a wing at the 4 against the best rebounding team in the league. And if Angel Reese or Elizabeth Williams get in foul trouble, which they do tend to do, they can bring Cardoso off the bench now, who's even bigger and going to be more dominant inside. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.